You are now tuned in to 13signastrology.com. Be your master of ceremony. My name is Ra Hotep L. On this particular episode, I'm going to talk about the knockout game. It's all over the media, all over the news. But before I get into that, I want to kind of make a statement. The name of my channel is 13 Signs Astrology YouTube channel. And a lot of times you see me talk about different topics. A lot of times if you look at a lot of my videos, you would think none of this has anything to do with astrology, Ram Hotep. Why are you making these different videos that has nothing to do with astrology? And I'm going to say this here because I think it's relevant to say this here. Astrology deals with everything in human culture. Astrology deals with everything in popular culture. If you really are a good astrologer, you could talk about astrology without ever even mentioning astrology. See, that's what I do. I'm so good at my craft. I'm so good at this art that I talk about astrology without even mentioning astrology. Now, astrology is not a religion. It's not a movement. It's simply just Ram Hotep channeling these planets, stating my opinions and my views. And a lot of the stuff that I talk about, if you want to look at it as entertainment, you can do that. That's totally fine. However, what I'm talking about is I'm a messenger, and I bring the message from the planets and from the astral bodies, and I channel this message, and I basically bring it into human culture and popular culture. So when you hear me talk about, like I'm about to talk about the knockout game, you got to know that we're in the time of Scorpio, and Scorpio deals with force, violence, a lot of your darker topics and aspects: murder, sex, bloodshed, power, control. Scorpio is the Scorpion King. It has a stinger at the end of it. So Scorpio is a very brutal sign. It's ruled by the root chakra, as far as when you deal with the chakras and what Scorpio is about. So during this time, you're going to see a lot of dark stuff going on, like this stuff with the knockout game and all of that I'm about to address. Another thing I want to point out here is that Ram Hotep, before I get into the video, Ram Hotep is definitely working on bringing some new personalities to the channel. But you got to remember that this channel is not, this is the realm of the occult. And in order for people to make it on this channel, you got to be initiated. You got to be initiated to make it on this channel. So I'm in the process of initiating a couple people. And I do this on the astral realm, and then there's a physical initiation that you have to go through so that you can be deprogrammed from all of the spells. And some people are in religion and grew up in religion and stuff like that. And in order for you to be a good presenter, the type of people that I'm looking for, you can't be on this channel and then go run back to church, and then be on this channel and go run back to the mosque, or be on this channel and go run back to the temple. Like, those places serve a purpose, definitely, but the purpose of it is definitely not what I'm doing here. Like, those places, you know, like the church, the synagogue and stuff like that, they do their thing and we do our thing here, and it's totally separate. This is the arts. This is the realm of the dark artists. This is the realm of the dark side of astrology, as well as the light side. This is the realm of the occult. This is a realm that you will never even know about unless you are able to see and pierce the fog. You have an open third eye. So you got to be initiated. But on this particular episode, I'm going to talk about this knockout game thing that's going on. And I was just kind of sitting back watching the news, and you know, it was some conservative people complaining about how no one's speaking out about it, and it seems like it's a lot of black, they're saying it's like racist essentially, and it's a lot of black males going out and striking a lot of like white people. And like most of these people, from what I'm seeing, are like people that kind of like maybe have some money, people that might be influential. A lot of times they're not even really going and robbing them, they're just going out and targeting certain people and they're striking them. And I'm going to give you my opinions and my views on it and what I think about it. Now, they called on a few of the black leaders, which I won't name here, and they asked them to speak about it, and it took a long time for these black leaders to come out, and they're just now coming out and speaking about it. They wait until the story leaks about Iran and the treaty and all of that, that, you know, this diplomatic agreement that the U.S. has signed with Iran, and then they get mad, then they go ahead and come out and start speaking about the knockout game thing, because it's all about money. And the thing with the knockout game thing is that they're being influenced and programmed. They're given intel by these higher up, some of them, and it's not even really a black and white thing. They're using a lot of black youth, indeed, but it's not even a black and white thing, really. The thing is that they're getting intel. The people that are doing it, these youngsters that are doing it, they're a part of gangs. And these gangs, let me give you the history of gangs, then I'll tell you about the intel. See, these gangs go back to religions. See, I used to be in a gang. I know a lot about gangs, and gang members are very religious, believe it or not. See, people don't realize that or whatever. They're not really deprogrammed from the spell. The original gangsters were occultists. You know what I'm saying? They worship Moloch. Shout out to, you know, the Italian mob and like the older, you know, mafias out there before. This is talking about like pre-1900s. Back in the days, like gangs ran this country at one point. Like that was the order of the day. It was gangs. But over time, you got these new gangs that came out. You talking about like the Bloods and the Crips and the GDs and the El Rookins and Folk Hustlers and all of that. You got these different gangs, and yeah, they do a lot of stuff that, you know, seems dark and occultish, and people think being in the occult is all about, you know, doing like shooting people and blood sacrifices and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, all of that stuff goes back to religion. When you study the gang literature, you look at the gang literature, most of it is religious symbols. Gang literature is, you know, like these different symbols that they use to spell out different words and things like that. And you'll notice that they're using hexagrams. They're using what they would call the Star of David. They even, you know, they even have certain gang members and top figures in the gangs that are like King David. You know, you got these different kings or whatever, and you start to notice that these kings are all actually in the Bible as well. And like, say for instance, the GDs, they roll up under the hexagram, is what I call it, but you call it the Star of David. And you start to study Larry Hoover and the guy that originated, and you'll find out that he's not even gangbanging anymore, but he's religious. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's doing right now, you know, in prison or whatever, but at one point, he was religious. A lot of times, even before he started the gang, he was involved in an organized religion. Same thing when you deal with the El Rookins and you study Jeff Ford L. Jeff Ford L came out of the Moorish Science Temple. He was religious. The Moorish Science Temple was a religion, no matter how you look at it. They call themselves scientists, and they do study a lot of science, but it's a religion. I'm not here to knock that. What I'm here to say is that these gangs a lot of times are with the religious, the top dons in the religious orders, like your top preachers and bishops and rabbis and stuff like that. These are gangsters. That's what you got to realize. Even politics, a lot of them are politicians too as well that are influencing these gang members, and these are gangsters, man. And basically what they do is that when stuff's not going right at the top on a political level and they want to sway things, they're going to go and pay money to the gangs and break off money to the gangs, and they're going to have them target certain people because they're upset because, say for instance, right now religion is not really getting a lot of young people and a lot of followers to come, so they're losing money. People aren't paying as much charity. And it's not even because young people aren't coming, and a lot of it has to do with the economy right now, and they've been cleaning up a lot of the drugs and stuff like that on the street. So you got a lot of people that are in politics that are really drug dealers for real. And what's going on right now is that you got a split or whatever. You got people that are waking up. So you got like truthers and people that are telling the truth. And these people might be in law enforcement. They might be like the FBI. You really can't tell who's a truther. You know what I'm saying? And these truthers, they're like, I'm not going to go with the corruption that's going on in my organization. I'm not going to go with the corruption that's going on in my church. So you got a lot of people that's waking up, and that's causing a lot of like monies to be lost for political parties, but as well as religions. Religions are losing a lot of money. So when you deal with like the Bloods and the Crips, you notice that the Crips wear blue, the Bloods wear red, and then you think about the political parties. The red is usually the Repubs, the blue are usually the Dems, the Democrats. So what's going on here is that basically they hiring these knockout gang members, or they're playing this knockout game, and it's really gang members that they're employing, and they're going around and targeting certain people. See, the media is not going to tell you that. These are the people that they're knocking out and striking. These are certain people that they're targeting. They may be a media person that said something, or somebody that spoke out about something that they shouldn't have spoke out on, or somebody that they feel like is a strong personality that has a following, and they're swaying a group of people into the wrong direction. And these gang members, see, they're not intelligent. They're not free thinkers. They're still religious. That's why I pointed that out. So when the higher up, their boss or their chief or you know, the OG comes at them and they're like, yo, we need you to do X, Y, Z. We need you to put in some work. We got this person that they're about to get on the train or whatever. And they got apps. See, these gang members, they're smart now too. They're using apps and shit like that. And the gang stalking thing really ties into the knockout game thing. It's the same thing, because they'll gang stalk you and then they'll find you, get you into a situation where you're isolated, and they'll knock your ass out. You know what I'm saying? So basically, what's going on is that these higher up worshipful masters and, you know, different lodges, a lot of them are Masonic or whatever, they go get, you know, the guys that's gonna put in the work, the dogs, the bloodhounds. You know what I'm saying? They get them and they pay them a certain amount of money and they go target a certain amount of people, and they gonna do it because they like, shit, the streets is dry. I ain't really making too much money. You know what I'm saying? I got to do something. So they go ahead and do it. And that's what's really going on with the knockout game thing is that, you know what I'm saying, it's really basically these higher up preachers and stuff paying these people. And a lot of them are black. Most of them, they're paying black people. But at the end of the day, it's really tied into, it's not even about color, because the people that are breaking off the money could be black or white. It just depends on their situation. So say, for instance, if a governor is getting some flack, a governor or something's getting some flack from somebody in office that's stopping him from making certain moves, because every time he tries to make a move, they sign something in the legislation, or they, you know, certain agreements are made that they don't like. They'll go target. They're going to go get the knockout game or the knockout gang, and they're going to play the knockout game, and they're going to go target certain people. The people that they sign stuff in the law, so you might be coming home from work and you don't even know it's really who's behind it. You're thinking it's random attacks, and it's not. That's what I'm pointing out. It's not. They're not talking about that part of the media. The media is just saying, oh, it's just people getting hit and they're making it into like it's about to be a race war and stuff like that. But it's really not even about that. It's really about the fact that certain people are getting targeted that they don't like. That's what the knockout game is about. And really what's going on in this country is that really gangs in general are really starting to like take back over the country or whatever. Like, this country was founded by gangs, believe it or not. Like, big religion and big brother, where it's like this big old religion that runs not big religion, I'm sorry, big government, where it's like this big old government that runs everything, and, you know, it's a system of checks and balances and all of that. That's becoming a thing of the past, because people are becoming more freer and free thinkers, but at the same time, people are losing money, and big government can't afford to take care of everybody. So people are now dependent on yourself to make money. So this is going to cause a lot more chiefs, a lot more Indians to pop up. So basically what's going to happen is that the big government is losing a lot of money because of extortion. And they're taking, like, you got people in government that's stealing money. Like right now, crime and just being immoral is like the thing to do right now. So that's what the knockout game thing is about. And then you got people that are conservative on television and they're all mad about it, like somebody needs to speak out about it. And I'm not taking either side. You know what I'm saying? I'm just simply here to state the facts of what's going on. I'm not going to take either side on this issue, because those same people, you do things to extort people too, but it's just now, like, you might send people to gang stalk people and stuff like that. And it might be somebody higher up in media and government sending certain people to gang stalk people that speak out. And I know, because I'm a personality on YouTube, they gang stalk me all the time. And they even extort. They sent people to extort me. They ain't going to send no knockout game. I don't give a fuck. You know me, I'm a gangster. I used to be in that shit. So if I even so much as see, like, I saw a knockout game on the train the other day. And, you know, they have the guys with the ski mask on, and they get on the train. It's a group of them. They try to look all intimidating. And, you know, I was coming back from popping some tags. You know, I'm going to keep it real. And there was some white people on the train. They came back from popping some tags. And the gang members kind of sat around the white people and had the white people all fidgety or whatever. So the white people, it was some Asian people there too. So they got around me. I guess they could see it in my eyes. I'm looking like, you know, like, even though I'm far from that life, far removed from that life, but a lot of times these black people, they know what I talk about on YouTube. So you got a lot of these black people that look at me as a target too. And they're like, yeah, we can target him and get him. So yeah, they want to target me or whatever, and they want to do certain stuff to me. But I've had people like extort, like, you know, like they set up these apps and things like that, and they'll take money off of your credit card, like through building a cloud. I mean, these are intelligent youngsters. They could be using that knowledge to do something greater with, and not even breaking the law with. But then you got other people in your head. You're letting these other higher up people in your head get you to do dirty shit. Basically, they pretty much got you dirty. And at the end of the day, you're going to be the one to go to jail. Not that politician up in the big house. You might not even realize you working for a politician in the big house, because your OG might not have told you that. Your OG might be playing both sides. See what I'm saying? So you're just thinking, oh, I'm working for my OG. He told me to put in this work. That's what we going to do. But the OG might be sitting in and getting a chance to come into the round table with politicians and stuff like that. So it's all like gang members, gangs, and gangsterism, which is all very much a part of the scorpionic energy. That's why I'm talking about this right now. But my thing is this, and I'll go ahead and shut the video down. Don't feed into this whole thing about, like, if you're a youngster, you might be a part of the knockout game or whatever. I say don't do it. Still end it, man. Like I said, I'm not really going to take a side. People do what they do out here in the Matrix because it's all dirty anyway. It's all dirty. It's all about money. So it's going to be dirty. So, but the thing is that be more intelligent. That's why I make this channel, try to get people to think. Before you just take an order from someone, think about, like, okay, why do they want me to do this? That's why they hate my channel, because Ram Hotep gets people to think. See, I offer biased information. I try not to take sides. I just try to get people to think more. So think about it, man, before you just take this money to go knock somebody out. Because at the end of the day, if they got cameras on a train or a subway or wherever, and you doing this shit, they're going to see you. You're going to go to jail for someone else, and you're going to get a lot of time for gang stalking. It carries a lot of time. And they're going to charge this, like, they're going to make this into a hate crime and maybe even a terroristic crime. And that's going to add more and more time up. So you need to study the law. See, it's not just like an assault charge. You just hit somebody, you think that's it, and they're going to be that much time, like maybe a few months in jail. You might hit somebody and fuck around and get 50, well, not 50 years, but 20-something years in jail. I was reading this magazine where they got these gangs of these young people, and this is white people doing this stuff too. They're so-called white people and black people, but a lot of white people are into this aspect of gang banging, where they're using apps and stuff like that. And they're going around and terrorizing people that may be like they target on YouTube or they target on different social media networks, and they go around and come up to their house. It's called gang stalking. And they come up and they don't really touch them a lot of times even. They'll just come up to their house, break their windows out, or if they're in a hotel, break into their hotel, steal some shit and run out real quick just to make their life more miserable. And they're working for a higher up boss again, or higher up chief. But the thing is, once they get caught, you know how much time they throwing out for that type of stuff? They're throwing out like 35 years, man. You didn't even shoot nobody or nothing. You didn't even pull a gun out. But they found out you was on this website and you was communicating with certain people. You was a part of an organized gang stalking unit. If they catch you, man, you could get like 35 years for that shit. So just think about it. That's all I'm here to get people to do, is just to use your noggin. Use your brain. Think about things before you just go out and do them. Make sound decisions. I'm here to help, to teach people how to reason. I'm here to teach people how to think, because people don't know how to think. You're programmed, and a program just goes off of the command that the operating system gives it. And the operating system is like the Matrix. And the people that control the Matrix are a lot of times are some high up ETs and some entities that you know nothing of. So I'm here to help you to deprogram from all of that. So think about the stuff that you're doing. If you're part of some gang, you're like, don't go out and do it at the end of the day. Find another way to use these apps and use your intelligence or whatever, you know, intel that they giving you. You know what I'm saying? Learn to go and pick up a book and go and learn a skill that's going to make you unlimited money instead of being a part of some knockout game or playing some game called knockout game. It's not really just a game. It's really a gang. That's why I keep confusing the two words or whatever. Got to deprogram from that. Got to detach from that. Got to detach from the spell and from the Matrix. So that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys learned something. And until we meet again, I'll leave you in. Namaste. Peace.